Hello again, friends. Chrissy here at A Little Glam, A Lot of Mom. Thanks for being here. Today's video is a part 2 video of resources like reference and activity books, independent readers, literature read-alouds, and a few of our favorite hands-on resources for spring. Okay, so let's begin with our readers. In my last video, I shared our favorite children's picture books for spring. So this time, I thought I'd share our favorite independent readers and literature read-alouds. Last month, my Bella devoured this collection, the Frog and Toad collection by Arnold Lobel. It's labeled as a reading level 2, and these are the stories of best friends Frog and Toad all through the year, in winter, spring, summer, and fall, going swimming and telling stories, eating ice cream, and finding last buttons. These set of wonderful stories are about bravery and dreams, and most of all, friendship. It inspired us to always be there for each other with patience and kindness. We enjoy the whimsical nature, inspired illustrations, and my kids love the silly characters of Frog and Toad. Each book has 5 stories in it, and so with this collection, that totals of 15 wonderful stories. Nat Geo Kids readers, and these come in multiple reading levels. Here I have an example of a level 1 and a level 2. I love this series for my young readers because it's based on the natural world. The realistic photos are traditional, brilliant photographs always done by Nat Geo. The storyline, a simple text of accurate, interesting scientific facts. I love that it's engaging with little pop-up bubbles. There's a quiz at the end of some of these readers. There are also jokes included in some of the bubbles on several pages. My kids have a blast with those.
What is a plant's favorite drink?
I don't know. What drink is it?
Root beer. Luna, what does the plant say when it doesn't want any company? It says, leave me alone. Luna, what does the flower say to the other? It says, hi, bud. How is a tree like a big dog?
I don't know. How?
They both have a lot of bulk.
And there are so many wonderful children's classic literature books that you can read during spring, and it was hard to choose, but The Secret Garden was an easy win. This story is about an orphaned girl who moves to England to live with her uncle on an enormous property on the Yorkshire moors. The mansion has nearly 100 rooms, and her uncle keeps himself locked up. The gardens surrounding the property become her escape. Mary discovers a key to a secret garden and becomes determined to bring the garden back to life, and is determined to cure her cousin Colin through the secret garden and the healing and magic of nature. To accompany this classic, you must get your family a copy of The Secret Garden Family Literature Guide by HearthMagic on Etsy. This unit, inspired by the book, has 100 plus pages of activity suggestions for each chapter. Art, handwork tutorials, copywork, nature studies, creative writing, recipes, and more. I mentioned the HearthMagic literature guides a lot on my space because they really are a treasure to our homeschool. And I'm going to link a video to last year's unit study where I share more details about this Secret Garden literature guide. Dover Nature Coloring Books. I've mentioned these coloring books several times here on my channel, and we still love them. Dover Nature Coloring Books are an excellent resource of nature illustrations with fact-filled captions on each spread. Unlike traditional cartoon type of children's coloring books, the illustrations in these are super detailed. My littles love coloring, and so I was constantly printing off coloring pages, which was just going through our printer ink too quickly. These coloring books are under $5. Better quality than any children's coloring book or anything that I'd be able to print off the internet, and budget friendly too. Turn this book into a beehive and 19 other experiments and activities that explore the amazing world of bees by Lynn Brunel. I don't exactly love the digital illustrations in this book, and about half of the book are blank cardstock pages to turn the book into a beehive. But the hands-on experiments are super fun for my littles, and there is a lot of educational information about bees. I will say that the resource is unique and that it does have so many engaging experiments for your students. So for that reason, I am glad that I purchased the book. Although the digital illustrations aren't my preference, I will say that my children do find the illustrations colorful and engaging. Okay, so moving on to our reference books, I would say that these are more of an educator's or a teacher's guide. And let's start with Roots, Shoots, Buckets and Boots, Activities to Do in the Garden by Sharon Lovejoy. So again, I believe that this book is more of a teacher's guide. It has served me more as inspiration for connecting my children to nature through gardening. The author presents 12 ideas for themed gardens, a 10-minute plan for planting and maintenance, and a list of the top 20 plants for kids to plant. There's the Pizza Patch themed garden, a giant-sized wheel garden planted in slices, a flowery maze garden, a moon garden of night-blooming flowers, a sunflower house, container gardening for smaller spaces, and medicinal gardens, stunning watercolor inspiration. DK's Let's Get Gardening, a large, and when I mean large, I mean this book is thick, a beautiful, colorful guide featuring 30 easy gardening projects for families with kids. I believe the targeted age for projects is 5 to 8 years old. The first several pages are introducing to what is a plant, what plants need, and information on gardening tools. Then the projects are divided into 3 categories: kitchen garden, projects like growing herbs and vegetables, a wildlife garden, so ideas on garden habitats, a seasonal wildlife garden, plants for a fragrant garden, planting trees, a garden for bees, water ponds, and more. And then there's a recycling garden, so recycling and renewing all sorts of creative planters, pots, boots, and more. The Yoga Garden Game, a cooperative board game, a fun way to learn yoga poses that are named after animals and things found in nature. The pieces included are this beautifully and wonderful quality game board. There's also yoga poses cards, a bumblebee game piece, a die, night pieces, and flower pieces. And so the object of the game is to plant a flower garden together before night. Field guides are a wonderful resource to have for a nature-loving home. And we use them year-round, but I feel like especially during spring, just because everything is so lively around us, and we're going on more nature walks than we were in winter. Anyway, one of our favorite field guides are the Fandex family field guides. Now, I will say that these are not field guides to take out into nature, as they're not laminated, and you'll probably want those laminated booklet type of field guides for that. But these are more so for referencing to back at home. Out of all of our field guides, my kids find these the most engaging. So there are 50 different features of die-cut, full-color illustrations with a load of facts, statistics, and field notes about the topic. So life cycles are always an appropriate topic to learn and study, right? But during this season, especially, again, in the spring season, everything is coming back to life. And our favorite resource for life cycles are these life cycle figures. I have several brands, but the best quality and detail are from Safari Ltd. These are an engaging, tactile, and playful method to learning about life cycles, and can be used in different hands-on lessons, like with 3-part cards and an object to picture match, or in those fun activity sensory bins. However, the greatest way to observe and experience a life cycle is by witnessing the real thing. The most impactful life cycle for us was when we were raising caterpillars to butterflies. I recommend that every family does this at least once. I also have a video about how we did this. It was just an experience that we'll never forget, and I was able to capture a lot of it on footage. So go watch that video if you haven't, and I will link it here in a card and down below. So the spring season is also our favorite season to study birds, nests, and eggs. We enjoy several tools for birding, binoculars, bird feeders, bird baths, but our most favorite has been our Audubon bird call. It's really simple in the way that it works. When twisted, the birchwood and metal instrument makes a variety of sounds similar to bird songs. Each bird call is handmade and individually tuned. Flower pressing, and this is a small wooden flower press I purchased from a child's dream, but now I can't find it to share the product details or link it, but I will find something similar on Amazon for you. My youngest loves collecting little wildflowers when we go on a nature walk, and so I bought this several years ago as an activity we can do together and to preserve some of her finds. The way it works is you place your flowers or leaves in between these pieces of cardboard and a layer of tissue paper. Then we can make all sorts of crafts with our dried flowers.